Hello, Chaim and Chani. Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Baruch Hashem, I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, a little nervous.
Okay.
So I'll just reiterate what I wrote in my email.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody else heard it. Nobody else saw it.
All right, so again, like I said, right. So I've not been diagnosed, but I'm fairly certain that I have bipolar to some degree.
Okay.
My therapist confirmed this. It's not a Google search diagnosis.
Right.
I didn't get officially diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dating someone now that I love very much, and this is something that obviously concerns her.
Mm-hmm.
It came up more recently, and just happened to be I've just been like the last couple of weeks have been like very swingy for me. Again, nothing violent or anything of the sort. Just really focused highs, and then like a couple of days of really, really hard depressions, and then like back up today with like a little bit mania and just a little bit all over the place. And as we're discussing engagement and getting more serious, this is something that came up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand her point of view. I understand that I don't understand it because I don't have to live with that. So I have to live with myself, but I have some level of comfort with myself, and I could respect that. For someone else, it could be completely off-putting. At the same time, I also feel like no matter where I was on the spectrum or on the in the cycle, I've always been good to her. I've always been attentive and always been willing to talk about whatever I was going through and whatever she was feeling. And I feel like, why is that not enough? Why am I still on trial to see if this is something that's good, if I'm good enough for her? And that's.
I hear you.
That's just, it's hard for me. It's just.
Now, was I was told that you were both going to come on. Are you both on right now?
Yes, she's
Okay.
there, but she's camera shy.
Right. Okay. So is it possible she wants to talk also, or no?
She doesn't feel so comfortable with
Okay.
that, but she's listening.
Okay, no problem. So you're saying that you've been dating for a while, and in terms of time, the time is not really so relevant as much as you use the term cycle, that like you've been through your cycle while you were dating her. So you're high and you're low. She already has seen you in that state. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So the first thing I want to advise you is go ahead and get a diagnosis, because I'm assuming you're saying your therapist says he thinks or she thinks this is the diagnosis, but I'm assuming the reason that diagnosis hasn't been given is because you need a psychiatrist, I'm assuming, to make that diagnosis. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's accurate, but
Okay.
I don't necessarily need. I'm not looking for a diagnosis because I'm working with my therapist and dealing with it, and
Right.
I'm not looking to take medication. And I just want to add, the reason why I'm saying that is because I think that is something that really triggered her when I said I love my life. Like, yes, it's painful to have these lows, and it's crazy sometimes to have the highs, and it's hard to manage it. It's like either you're driving 80 miles an hour or 20 on the highway, and it's very hard to get where you have to get to safely.
Yeah.
when that's how you're driving, but that's how I don't know another way, and I don't necessarily want to take medication and kind of numb myself or put myself in a different place.
Right.
So I'm working with a therapist as if I have bipolar, regardless of whether I do, and how to manage the highs and how to manage the lows.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The reason I was saying to get a diagnosis is not so you can gain access to medication if that's not what you're ready to do right now. So I just want to clarify that just sometimes having the diagnosis gives you more clarity, and I don't want to push the issue because it's not the most important point here, but I generally feel that when a person gets a diagnosis, they're gaining clarity. I think it's a helpful thing. Sometimes people are afraid of it because it's like, if I get a diagnosis, then they're going to push medication on me, or then I'm going to be stigmatized, or whatever it is. I just want to put it out there that I think a person only gains through having that clarity. But it's, I'm not saying it's a absolute necessity. I just think you may gain from it. Yeah. So this is a tough one because, nobody is obligated to marry anybody. Nobody's forced to have to marry somebody, even if the relationship looks good on paper and in real life, and they like each other and they share values. And the reality is that either party, for any reason, even for no good reason, can say, I'm not ready to do it. So in a way, it's like, if somebody needs to be convinced to marry you, it's maybe not a good idea to marry them. Because, like, I don't know, I want to marry somebody who's head over heels chasing me, saying, I want this more than anything else. And instead of somebody saying, I have a certain hesitation. So it's almost like, I don't know, what are we trying to figure out here? We're trying to figure out if...
Right, so that was the question that I didn't really ask, and that's really what it was. In other words, I'm not asking that you should assume that she should marry me. The question is, like, am I supposed to just wait around or be with someone that has all these hesitations about me, or do I say, okay, I respect your decision for not being sure, and I want to be with someone who is sure?
I love the way you just asked that question, because that's a question that I can answer. Okay, that's a question with clarity. So, great question. My answer to you is, I don't know if you should wait or you shouldn't wait, but I do know that whoever you marry should know about your challenges, diagnosis or no diagnosis, but whatever it is that your challenges are, they should know about it, and they should be so eager to spend the rest of their life with you, whoever you marry, whether it's this girl or any other girl. They should know your challenges, they should know what you're doing to deal with it, and they should know even other things that are imperfect about you. I'm sure you have other things that are imperfect. And they should say, I know the whole package, the strengths and the challenges, and I want this person more than anything. That's and if you're not getting that, listen, people are the most passionate for each other before they get married. And it's just human nature that passion dwindles. So if somebody isn't excited to close the deal before marriage, it becomes potentially a sign that things are going to be very strained after marriage. So
I appreciate that. That does give me a lot of clarity. If I could just ask on her behalf, because she's sitting here, she just doesn't want to get on the call. So there are a lot of parts of me that she is very excited about, and I understand that it's really like a whole package. It's not like it's not a buffet,
right?
So it really needs to be a full. But she's scared. There's a part of her that's like, is she being stupid to tie herself to somebody who's as unpredictable as I am, and there's a lot that she went through in her life that safety, security, and predictability is a huge factor for her.
Yeah.
And is she being stupid and naive or hopeful in a impractical way to tie herself up to somebody who has these highs and lows and maybe can't be as predictable, especially that she does have kids, and it does, that also adds to it. Like, it's not just her subjecting herself to my highs and lows, it's how her kids are going to respond to my highs and lows and things of that nature. So,
I mean, really, I think in a case like this, she should speak to a psychiatrist, to somebody. Whether you want a diagnosis from a psychiatrist or not is irrelevant. She should speak to a psychiatrist and get the full disclosure and make an informed decision. I mean, she should educate herself, take away any of the fear of the unknown, and to know exactly what this thing is and make an informed decision. Because I really can't say that there's a right or wrong choice here. It really comes down to what she's able to handle. And I don't know what she's able to handle. Only she's able to know what she's able to handle. But she's only able to know she's able to handle it if she has full awareness of what it is she's signing up for. So I think take away the fear, take away the doubt, and just go educate yourself. I mean, you're listening, so I'm speaking to you. Educate yourself. Go schedule an appointment with a psychiatrist. Go in there and say, it's not for me. It's for somebody I'm seriously considering marrying. And I just want to be educated. I don't want to come here 2 years after we're married. I want to come here before and make an informed choice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I heard you. Okay. Excellent. You're welcome. It was great. Okay.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. I really appreciate it.
Hashem should give you clarity, both of you.
Amen.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was an awesome call. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Okay. Hey, this is Shais Taub. You were just watching a clip from this class. If you want to get the full context, the full class that this clip that you just watched was from, you watch right here. Click right here. Here.